Hey everyone, this is a slightly quick tutorial on how to export a Petz model as a 3D model using LnzLive. I'm using version 1.4.6, the Load Toys Lens preview, but this works in previous versions of LnzLive as well. 1.4.6 is probably the best version to use or onward for this feature. This requires some knowledge of how to use a 3D modeling program like Blender. I don't really use any other 3D modeling programs, so I don't know the exact process for cleanup that will work well for other programs, but the idea might be similar. The other thing it requires for kind of final polishing would be some sort of remeshing program, unless you want to do that by hand. So I use, I think AutoRemesh, which can be found on GitHub, is a pretty good one. There's also Instant Meshes, which is also a good AutoRemesher. But most of the cleanup can still be done just in Blender. It's just a matter of how cleanly you want the model to look in the end. But to start off, when you're in LnzLive, I'm going to just open up an example breed that I haven't made into something cute yet. Let's see. So we can basically export models. It'll export the balls as spheres and the lines as cylinders, essentially as primitives, and it'll export in the current animation that's shown. So you can go through the various animations to find one that you think suits the pet well. Let's see, for a Persian, I kind of just want it like lying down kind of lazily. So let's see if we can find anything kind of like that. When I think of a Persian, I kind of think of this pose. So if you go to the tool export OBJ to 3D model, I can save like this. I'm going to, instead of this, just save it to my documents here. Or actually, it can save directly to your LnzLive output folder, which is in documents. It'll automatically name it as the name of the lens file that's open currently, the animation, and the current frame. And I'm just going to save that as it is. It might take a moment for it to export, but if I just close LnzLive here and check it out, I'm going to open up Blender first. I'm going to delete the starting sphere, but if I go to File, Import, and import wavefront or OBJ file, if I go to, should be in LnzLive here, Persian.pet here, and I zoom in, it's really small here. This is what it looks like when you load it up into LnzLive. Pretty much a one-to-one copy of the model and all the visible balls and lines, including the whiskers, which I'll want to clean up. And let me just move this around for a second. It's been a while since I did anything in Blender, so I want to change I want to go to orthographic view. It's been so long. All right, well, let's see this guy. Right now, all these are different pieces, and my general strategy is going to be to separate body parts I don't want to get like fused together, to delete parts that I think aren't going to look very good in the mesh, to then merge vertices by distance, add a subdivision modifier to get it smooth, and then kind of combine those into one visual mesh, and then remesh into one object that's nice and smooth. So if I take a look, let's see, first I just want this to look smooth. For now, I'm just gonna look at it like that. If I go into edit mode, these are a bunch of circles that are on top of each other. Let's see. And there's a way to select all, but I want to select all that are connected. I think that is by X-ray. I don't want X-ray. What was the hotkey for select connected vertices? Blender. I think it's Control L maybe. If I click one of these whiskers and I go Control L, yeah, that way you can just delete all of these. Because if you were just going to print this, you don't want those whiskers. And I'm just gonna select multiple of these whiskers and Control L and delete vertices. Okay, it's a little cleaner. How do I change to, nope, I want that view. My new mouse is just a little bit annoying with navigating in Blender. Here we go. Okay, so I want to probably separate the eyes first. So if I Control L, and to separate those out, the hotkey probably separate selection to new object Blender. P, I think P is the shortcut for separate. Yeah, all right, now that's a new object. I want to do similarly with probably the mouth and all the paws and the nose. So if I'm going to select the nose first, Control L, P, now that's a separate object, Control select connected, P separate selection. Also going to write this down as a tutorial. All right, now I want to separate the mouth, probably the jowls first. And I'm going to, all these nice like spheres that I want to stay spheres, I'm going to keep separate. And the little jaw too. All right, that ensures those don't blend together. Let me get the feet. I'll probably just put all these on the same. And you might also want to separate body parts that are, you know, you don't want to fuse the face and the paws together. So I'm going to select all those that are relevant to face. I'm going to try to get the lines in there too. Like so these shoulders. Okay. I think I got most of that in there. If I'd show X-ray for a second. Looks like that's the entire left shoulder and arm. P, separate section. And the other one. I know this might be tricky to nab. This is just so it all doesn't blend together when you go to remesh it. All right, I think probably best to do this to the foot too, because that looks like it'll be tricky. Just eyeballing this a little bit. Looks right. Obviously, if you wanted to just export a standing pet and make your own model and, you know, maybe even fully give it a skeleton and animate it, that would be even better. But for all the default Petz animations, if you really want them to be one-to-one, it's nice to have this. And just for 3D printing, this is fine. All right. The rest, like the body and the head and stuff, I think that'll be fine to let blend together a little bit. Okay, so each of these is now a separate object. Making, ooh, okay. Don't forget to get rid of your irises. We don't need those. Oh, and there is a nice little, the face/gel is here. I don't think I need to actually separate that, but it might be nice too. No, I'm just gonna leave it. Don't need that. And there's the eyes again. Cool. Next up, select all the vertices in object edit mode. All right, so if I just press A, and I would like to try this out. Merge by distance with M. So press M. Merge by distance. This makes sure that there's no weird line stuck in there, and I'm gonna have to do this for the legs as well. Actually get out of edit mode. Back into edit mode for this. Press A to select all. Press M and merge by distance. Get the other leg. Edit. Select all. M and merge by distance. It's probably a quicker way to do this. I'm just not an expert Blender person. Already did it for the body. Need it for the other leg. Edit. A. M. Merge by distance. And I think I do need to do this for the feet too, and these other balls that might be touching. So, you know, we'll do that. Actually, can I multi-select? I mean, I don't think this will affect it. Edit mode. A. M. Merge by distance. I think that, yeah, that's fine. You can multi-select across edited. And if I do this, A. Distance. Great. All right, now if I look at any one of these, edit mode in this, I don't remember. I think that if the lines are intersecting at the exact same point, then I'll fix any weird vertices. I might have to do that again later for something else. Let's see, subdivision modifier. So let's make this kitty smooth. I'm going to go into the modifiers and add a subdivision. Where did it go? Subdivision surface. And we're going to subdivide this by about 2 times maybe. Just a normal 2 times. Oh, okay, so that only apply to one of these. I want to apply it to all these. Subdivide. Okay, fine. Can I copy that? Copy modifier. Control L, I guess. Okay, select all objects, select the one with the modifier last, and then Control L. Let's try that. All right, if I have all of you guys, who is the one with the modifier? Control L. Copy modifiers. Here we go. All right, now we're smooth. Smooth, smooth. Now that you're super smooth, I'll try Control A. Visual geometry to mesh. Now if I look at that, wow, it is very subdivided. So this would be fine too if your 3D printing program can handle all these like spheres that intersect. Then you could print this and it would look very like, just like Petz with the stupid center mouse. Very smooth. But if you want something a little bit smoother to paint, you might want these balls to blend together a little bit. So that's the next step that we'll take, which is going to be to remesh with a very low voxel. So I'm gonna first just try the body first and try the remesh function. Here. Okay. We're just gonna make the voxel really small. Really, really small. Like that. Maybe even smaller. What did I do before? I did 0.0015. Half that. So yeah, it's almost even too smooth, like kind of blurry, but that's okay. We just want it to be smooth enough that when we remesh it again, it'll look really like, it'll look right. I don't think I need to do this to the eyes. I don't really want the eyes in that. Those are the eyes. Okay, so I'm just going to select these and select this, and I'm going to Control L and copy the modifier. So we have all these kind of smooth bits. And this way, they're not really, there's no like, there's no cutting into each other here. I don't even know if I need that to be that smooth, but this will be smoother for painting. Okay, so now, if I want to join the objects into one, just select all these, Control A, visual geometry to mesh again, and how do I join these all into one? Where did it go? Blender, join objects into one mesh. I think I need bool tools. Preferences, add-ons. Where'd it go? Forgot to add a few of my favorite extensions. Sure. You want bool tools for this. Cool. Okay. Now I think Control J is the tool that we want. Select the objects you want to merge. Control J. Okay, well now this is one object. This might be enough for me to bring into instant meshes, but let's see. I'm going to export this first as another wavefront. materials here. And let's add a window for AutoRemesher. All right, this tool, to open up our mesh, which should be in Documents, Live. Okay, there's our guy. And it's already proposed a way of remeshing it, which is still a little bit messy here. Density. Let's give that a second. I think it's fine. Just see what this looks like if we bring it in. That still keeps those objects as separate objects, so I don't know how well that would print. But it is pretty smooth. So like it's a little bit, it's lower poly. A lot lower poly. And it'll probably print rather smoothly. Okay, now there's another tool that I forgot to bring onto this computer, but for preparing, I think it was something by 3D print preparing tool. I forgot what it's called. What software? It wasn't by Maya, something else. For instance, I got a new computer. I don't have the old software I had on here. God, what was it called? MeshMixer, was it? Yeah, it was AutoDesk MeshMixer, which I forgot what my login is for Autodesk. And it seems to think that, well, let's see. Sending code via email. Well, that's an old email and I don't have that email anymore, so darn, what was it? I hate how Autodesk makes you log in to download their free software, but I did it before, and now I don't see. I must have the password saved on another window. Change profiles, maybe. MeshMixer, MeshMixer. Sorry, I just forgot my login for downloading MeshMixer. Guess I'll just make a new account. Oh well, I have that account. Because I just forgot the password. Fine. Pause this. Okay, I found my login for MeshMixer. Gotta quickly install it. I think I need to save this as an STL file. I could be wrong though. Just call this version 1. I do see that it kind of did fuse the feet together though, so I don't love that. Probably could have went a little bit less on the whole fusing those. Or maybe it would have been better if I had separated out those objects. Actually, I'm gonna delete you for a second. We're gonna... I probably should have just never merged those together. See how much it can remember. Okay. This still has a no, this still does not have a modifier on it. All the modifiers are still applied. And it's not gonna have that modifier on there. We're just going to separate that selection out so it doesn't fuse the feet together. Actually, don't even think the remesh is necessary for these either. They look fine together. This doesn't need a remesh. This does not. That one's okay to make the nose. All right. Then we'll just do that together. Export. Going back over here, open it back up. And give it a second to remesh. Obviously, if you wanted a really nice remesh for animation or something, you wouldn't do this. But for a figurine, this is pretty nice. Oh, I should have... I'm stupid. Forget that for a second. I should not have done that. I should have joined those. I need to apply the modifiers first. Visual geometry to mesh, then join. Okay, that keeps them separated. I'm just forgetful. Okay. Now I can bring this back up. There we go. And it crashed. Cruel. Let's try that again. Ta-da. Didn't like that. Why? It's really like too many vertices. Ugh. Let's see. Can I simplify it a little bit? Even this would probably be fine for 3D printing. It'd be very smooth too. Like you don't actually need the, well, if you don't want that many polygons, you might need the AutoRemesher just to not have it be so many polygons. Because yeah, there's no detail there. Here. Budget's 10. Let's just do that and let's see if it'll take it. Without crashing. That or we can try instant meshes, but please. All right, good. I handled it. It's not gonna be, does fuse some things together though, so it's still not my favorite. Yes, I want to close. I actually don't really like that remesh. Much prefer this. I don't know why it has so many issues with this though. So if I just go like, go way back. Okay. Keep all those modifiers on. That has a modifier and this is a modifier. Maybe we don't need to be so intense with these remeshes. Maybe it could be like 0.005. Especially because we're keeping the detail on the rest of the body pieces. We don't need to add a bunch of vertices here. See, it's not too bad. I don't like the ears though. This one where I'd like it to maybe be more like that. See if it'll cooperate now. All right. Much better. And the feet are separate. Slightly better. Whoops. No, I don't want to. Shade auto smooth. No. Okay. Now, export as an STL. Export that. This is better now the feet haven't blend together. And I can open MeshMixer. I don't really want usage data taken. No. Cool. Okay. No, it's not mesh file, mix file. Give some suggested files. Here we go. Oops. All right, well, that was wrong. Didn't mean to bring the other one out of there. Selection only. All right, that's what your guy looks like. And one way you can make this flat for 3D printing in MeshMixer. It's been a while since I used this to edit. I'm pretty sure it's plane cut. And then you just move this guy until you're happy with the amount of flatness. So for him, for the Persian, you just have to be willing to accept a little bit of cutting, and maybe you can even angle him in a way that, oof, no, whoops, okay, cancel all that, you can probably first rotate this a little bit until you find a position that's nice for him to lay on. I'm gonna first just bring him up. Because I kind of want... Either way, that would cut into the tail a little bit, and that's not really what I want. So another way you can fix this up in Blender before you do your cutting for 3D printing, let's move his twin out over from here and move this one up. And we're going to give ourselves like a little helper object. Just gonna add a cube. This cube will be kind of like the base. And we're trying to make it so that his tail doesn't get cut up by the space. I guess it'd be fine if you cut there too, but if you want to keep that tail a little bit, you can use sculpting mode. Not scripting mode, not shading mode, sculpting mode. And there, for sculpting mode, there is a way to like kind of move some stuff around. I think it's like almost like posing. Box streamline project. I had seen it before. I think Blender updated it, and now I don't know where anything is. Box side box mask, draw. Bend, grab, pull, pose. Okay. Interesting. Don't remember how this works. Oh, I see. So if I make this really large, it'll be like, ah, yeah, okay. So you can start twisting stuff around a little bit. It's like not the most perfect thing in the world, but if you wanted to just like move the tail up a little bit. Why isn't this not working how I expected it to work? It worked really well before. But it's not too bad either. Although it's probably fine. Like I probably don't need to do this. I think it wasn't that bad in MeshMixer with the tail. If I go back and import it. I mean, it looks pretty bad, but you don't need it that flat to really sit flat on your desk or something. Why do I keep messing this up? Plain cut. It probably is just best to have that kind of flatness on all the sides. But if you really just wanted to limit it, I would do that. Just like that. A few flat points, still very bally, well supported. Yeah. I can export this again as an STL or an object. I'm going to export it as an STL. Let's see if I'm going to export it as an object and bring it back into Blender. I didn't want you to come out like that. Darn. Forward axis. Up Z, I think, in this. Or whatever. Anyway, it's pretty cute. And it would be not too bad for printing and not too bad for painting. And export this, export as STL. Where is my site? Just call that Persian 2. And that's basically how you'd clean up a pet model for 3D printing. Thank you for watching.